Well, thank you so much, Senator Boxer, and thank you for your leadership of this conference, and also for working with me as we've tried to come down this long road of getting us to a conference today. As some of you may recall, we started on the House side in Beckley, West Virginia, with Mr. Rahal and his district. We went across the country to hear from the American people and a lot of stakeholders and people who don't have jobs and communities that are waiting for the Congress to make a decision on infrastructure. We conducted a bipartisan, bicameral hearing, probably one of the first I recall, out in Los Angeles together. So I think there's a strong commitment not only from our committee, but everyone who's gathered here. Now, we've done, let's see, under the other side, there were 6 extensions on the transportation. There was a shutdown when we thought Mr. Oberstar and I were going for a 6-year bill. That was not to be, and I regret that. Mr. Oberstar was a wonderful individual who did all he could to move this process forward, and I was saddened when the administration at that time opted actually to cut his legs out from underneath him for a short-term measure, and that's really what puts us in this place. Now, a lot of people say this can't be done, but I've got Senator Rockefeller, and I've got Senator Hutchinson over there, and we had 17 extensions before I became the chair of the committee some 14 months ago. And we did an FAA bill. It wasn't what everybody wanted. Everyone would have done it a little bit differently, but we got it done, and it is the law of the land. The President signed that on the 14th. So I think this can be done, and I think it's important that we do get it done. There are millions and millions of Americans who don't have jobs, particularly in the hard-hit construction industry. But while we all share a commitment to build our nation's infrastructure, I think we've got to really focus on what is in the transportation bill and if it does get the job done. I think in order to achieve that goal, and it is an important goal for people without a job or crumbling infrastructure for this country, that we include some serious reforms. You can't just continue to throw money at problems. They tried that in the stimulus bill 2.5 years after they passed the stimulus bill, which was only about 6 or 7% infrastructure. 35% of the money was still stuck in Washington. So we heard in every one of those hearings, from Beckley, West Virginia to Los Angeles, the need for reforms. So I'm here today to say let's not just spend more money or throw money at problems. Let's have some serious reforms that get people working, get projects moving across this country. And let me set some markers out here. We're going to have to pay for this and pay for it responsibly. We're not going to raise taxes. Anyone who wants to raise taxes, you're on the wrong conference committee. And I think we must not include earmarks. We did the FAA bill without that. And we can't add to the federal bureaucracy. We've got to cut red tape, paperwork, and start streamlining the process to actually get things done. So that's the message I come with today. Shovel ready has become a national joke. We saw that again in stimulus. I'll talk to any of your folks out there. You can, they'll tell you that if the federal government gets involved, I think you came to some of those hearings, that those of you that are on our committee, they said if the federal government gets involved, the rule of thumb is the project takes 2 to 3 times as long and it costs 3 or 4 times as much. And that just is not the way to go. So I think we've got some programs that are broken. We need to consolidate some of the duplicative programs that we have and really roll up our sleeves and do a better job. We've got to do more with less. The American people demand it. Our future for the country requires it. And we're only going to burden our children and grandchildren if we don't address, again, doing things in a different fashion than we've done today. So all of my colleagues, and we've got some great other leaders you're going to hear from, Senator Boxer, that deal with different components of this. We're all committed to work together and get it done. Thank you, and I yield back.